And dear friends, welcome and Happy New Year. I'm so glad that we can be all together on this first Sunday of the new year to enter together into the exploration of our life on earth, exploring our communion with the living elements, with the forests, with the mountains, with the oceans, with the skies, and entering into this exploration through the guidance that has been passed down to us from our Murshid, Hazrat Inayat Khan, through meditations that were communicated by him exactly a century ago. It was in 1921 that Murshid gave the nature meditations. In the summer in Wissous, France. And that was before he and his family had settled into Fazl Manzil together with Murshida Fazl Mai. They had left London and were unsettled, traveling. And a group of murids invited Murshid to teach them among the fields outside of Paris, in the village of Wissous. And it was then that Murshid unfolded his lectures and sat in silence and stillness, and the first summer school was born. In the years that followed, there was always a summer school, but this was the very first of them. And not so many murids were yet gathered, but those who were present always looked back on that summer as something absolutely remarkable. And Murshid's biographer, Elizabeth de Jong-Kesing, refers to it when she says, she's speaking of the Begum, Amina Begum, and says, Wissous may have been her last happy summer, for there they still found quiet and time in the lingering light after the long day to walk among the cornfields together, Murshid and Amina Begum. Disciples describe the summer in Wissous as an idyll, but there was more. One afternoon, a thunderstorm broke unexpectedly and everyone ran to the house for shelter. The last one, closing the door, looked back and saw Inayat standing on a small hill, his hair streaming in the wind, leaves whirling around him. Great, but different from the greatness the disciples loved to see. Loneliness. Those are the words of Elizabeth de Jong-Kesing, describing a certain kind of loneliness that was in Murshid, in the solitude of nature. That loneliness which the ancients described as being alone with the alone. And it was in the charged atmosphere of those days amongst the fields, within the storms and in the sunshine of rural France, that a series of sayings came through Murshid. These sayings are meditations. These sayings are contemplations that bring to life the world around us. It's already alive, but it's deadened in our psyche in the absence of that vigilance, that attentiveness that is our true nature, our primordial nature, a nature covered up in us by layers of contrivance and artificiality. These meditations, these sayings, excavate and renew this primal contact between our being and the beings around us, the more than human world around us, the world of stones and streams and snakes and birds and things beyond reckoning. Our kin, our fellows in this planet that is the very expression of God's being. And so I'm so happy that we have this chance all together, all of us together, to enter into this work and to enter into the nature meditations, this volume, and to go through it now every week, every Sunday, saying by saying. The sayings include themes such as trees, flowers, roses, landscape, mountains, the beauty of spring, all that gives seed and fruit, rain, snow, ocean, clouds, storm, sun, moon, darkness of night, sky with stars, space, sky, wind, movement, animals, human nature, childhood, old age, the sage, the prophet, God, the silence and stillness in nature, light and shadow, colors, straight lines, different movements, horizontal lines, the cross, the circle, colors, which flowers to give, stones. It's the lore of the earth, it's the lore of the cosmos. And for each of these subjects, Murshid has given a phrase. And that phrase is to be taken into the mind, taken into the heart through the breath. And we'll learn how to do this, and we'll do this together as we contemplate the many faces of nature and turn our own inner face toward the animate earth.